He's obviously very sought out, and Milan are putting a lot of faith into the guy to be able to give him
14 jobs.
right off the bat. He's gonna drive the bus too. What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the Serie A audio experience with IFTV. As everybody's on their phones, because I think my dad warned everybody he's going to be quizzing people.
Kids these days on their phone all the time.
Yeah,
disrespecting.
It's an English test.
we have some hard questions that I think are going to be coming very soon. Antonio, you look a little bit down, all things considered this
To be honest
weekend.
with you, I was taking a nap before I came over here.
Oh, you were taking a nap.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're a little bit...
You were taking a nap, and you're telling me you're working.
You messed up there, Anto. You got caught in a lie.
Anyway, guys, we had a crazy week of Serie A. We've been doing a lot of these podcasts, and people have really been enjoying them. So shout out to everybody that's been watching, that's been sharing, that's been listening, and especially the question and answer at the end on the audio platform has been doing really well. So for anyone that's new listening, at the end of this podcast, there's going to be an audio-only version where we take questions from Twitter and from Instagram. Your questions, we answer them. So it's going to be on Spotify, iTunes, Podbean, everywhere, every platform. They're linked in the description below. Extended audio clip after you're done with the video version.
A little extra, right?
Guys, how's everybody feeling today? Peter?
Don't ask.
Yeah.
Don't ask, Peter.
Peter?
I turned off the TV and I went to the beach.
What kind of a tifoso are you? Now, you know the song,
after the
I
Inter
feel
game.
good.
No,
That wasn't
how does it
Peter,
go?
right?
Hey, that's, what's his name?
What?
Uh,
Yeah, but
never
how does
heard
it
that
go,
song
the song?
before.
I feel good. Na 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 na.
I think I know.
Jelly?
No, it's not Bocelli. It's someone from Greece.
Oh,
He's
okay,
a Greek
good.
guy.
That's good.
So what about it?
No.
Is that how you feel? Is that
Yeah,
what you-
yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh. Listen, yesterday I did drive to New Jersey to go to see my friend, and
We saw you guys sent us a video.
yeah,
we
at
posted
Colino's
it.
place, and we were about to be served at the diner at the Americana, and then I see Joe, not quite happy, but neither depressed. He said to me, he said, hey, he said, you know, Inter lost. I said, Inter lost? Get the hell out of here. I told him. I said, you liar. Because I saw the first half, and I was on the phone with him. I said, hey, what do you do? I said, we're about to leave.
Yeah.
So it was 1-0 Inter, sure enough. I said, hey, you know what, let me turn the TV off. I didn't even want to check. Then I said, you know what, this guy's lying to me. Then as soon as I checked the stuff on the phone, I jumped. I said,
He had the biggest smile.
Really?
I
Oh,
ever
you
seen.
saw him?
yeah. And then he said to me, why are you enjoying seeing Inter losing? I said, it's not enjoying. It's just I wanted to see Conte face. That's the things that makes me most excited about it. That imbecile, okay? That guy should never even be open his mouth. We can move on to the segment right now. Just finish up your introduction. Are you done with this, or you wanna?
That's pretty much it. The only other thing I was going to say is that Michael and I right now, we're wearing some of the new merchandising that's going to be going on display.
And what is that?
We posted some pictures
Oh, wow.
yesterday.
Calcio.
A little like Miami Vice type, nice beachwear.
Is
and
that
we're also wearing-
psychedelic stuff? What was
So there's going to be a link.
Psychedelic?
There's going to be a link down below on the mailing list.
So you can
that
subscribe to that
so you can
email.
subscribe
Actually,
to it.
that's to go to the beach. That's
like
very
Nice,
good.
right?
Can that be seen at night with because I see some
No,
of
it's
the
not
if
photos.
you got good eyes.
It's not neon?
No.
I mean, maybe
It's
actually
not a
we
traffic
haven't
sign.
tested it at night, so maybe it is. But yeah, we hopped in the water. We actually saw Peter at the beach yesterday
Yeah,
when we
we
were taking
did.
our photos.
And not on purpose, by accident.
Yeah, by accident.
We ran the other way. We're like, we don't want to see this guy.
No,
We see
I
this guy
ran.
in
I
the-
ran right towards him. The second that he saw my face, he's probably like, I thought I could get away from you, but we found him. And also,
It was on the beach yesterday.
Yeah, he was on the beach. He was
He
just
said he was working.
What was
No,
he doing?
they-
I
he's
just
saying
said
that he wanted to get away because Inter lost. So he went to the
Oh,
beach
I went
to
to the
relax.
beach.
I thought you were kidding,
Don't
Pete.
have
No,
my-
I'm
No,
serious.
he's serious. Yeah, we saw him.
I don't lie.
Yeah, we did see.
Yeah, so we saw him there, and also shout out to Douglas Costa, who I mean every day we're getting another video from Costa wearing the shirt.
He likes it.
He really
a lot.
likes it.
We're
Can
not
you-
forcing him to. He likes.
Can you send him a couple of more shirts?
That's-
I don't know if
yeah.
it's the same one that he's wearing. You know, you give him a couple
Yeah,
of more.
Maybe that
Sure.
tank top.
Yeah, the tank
Summer's
tops
up.
look good
Oh,
on
this
him.
one. Yeah.
All right, Antonio, you could continue.
Listen, first of all, the 3-0 against Lazio, it was I predicted. I said AC Milan is going to win this game, and I said the reasons why. I said they don't have Immobile, they don't have Caicedo, and they don't have a couple other people in defense like Felipe. Luis Felipe and a couple other people. So I said to myself, you know what? I like my chances. So I said we're going to win. Sure enough, I think AC Milan did not deserve to win 3-0, but could have been even more, because Lazio was totally wiped out.
It's true.
Totally wiped out. There was no complaining. I don't understand what happened at the end of the game with Theo Hernandez. Why was that a little scuffle over there? Why?
They must have exchanged some words. They were
Did
getting,
he pushed him? No, I think he pushed him
I don't
after.
know what it was
I
exactly.
don't
They
think
must have said
so.
something.
Well,
I didn't see it.
you lose. Take it like a man. I mean, they lost. They lost, deservedly
Fair.
lost. They lost. So I feel bad in a way that we eliminated the competition from Juventus because,
I love you, Anto.
Lazio should have, if the Lazio would have won, unfortunately, against AC Milan, that would have kept a little bit more pressure on Juventus. But, we cannot really hope that those guys that put the pressure on Juventus because a bunch of losers. So what do you want to do? So I was hoping that Lazio would have just, stay a little closer. But unfortunately,
I'm surprised.
I got you.
I think this is over right now.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's what we're starting with.
This is really over.
I would say really
Lazio
over.
beating Lazio losing to Milan. Obviously surprising. Nobody really expected it, but we did kind of get the sense that Lazio, not to take credit away from their last few games, but there was a little bit of a sense that there was something off. The energy was a little bit different. They went down a couple of matches, and they were able to get back into the match. But this one, like you said, their approach was not the right way. And for Milan, massive credit to them. They beat, the second place team in Italy convincingly, like you just said. Could have been more. Theo Hernandez. He made one run that I'm sure was 90 yards
He ran
and
the whole
nearly
field.
scored it. Nearly. Going up, the guy is brilliant. Zlatan able to get on the score sheet. Beautiful to see him back in the team. And Rebic constantly making himself so important to this Milan side. He really reminds me, and I saw this online, people reminding him of like a Mandzukic type player that gives you a lot of hustle, a lot of grinta, but also with lots of talent. So he's been a great signing and very important win for Milan in terms of morale. And I think you're right. What you were just hinted at, for me, in my opinion, this was the end of the road for the Scudetto.
It's over.
What do you agree, Peter?
Yeah, I agree. I think too many points to make up, especially the way Juventus is playing right now.
7 points, by the way, between
Yeah.
first and second.
We have how many
Between,
games?
First and third.
5
right now.
games left.
No, I think it's
Seven
7 or
games
8.
then?
Maybe
Seven.
Okay.
7
maybe
games
7.
left. So I think, especially
7.
how Dybala's playing right now, the guy seems to every time he takes a shot, he scores. And Juventus, they don't look like they're stopping, even though he's not going to be playing versus Milan. We'll see. That being said, going back to, I was wrong on my prediction. I said even Lazio without Immobile, Caicedo can find a way to score against Milan, and they're going to win in the midfield. Surprisingly enough, Kessie, Benacer totally dominated that midfield. And then, listen, soccer, like many sports, is a game of inches, right? One thing goes your way, you score. Milan scored their first goal off a deflection, scores, goal. They deservedly won, but I'm saying...
What deflection?
Yeah,
So
there was a
defensive.
deflection. There was a deflection.
That
But
was a
what I'm trying to say is they score their first goal, get the penalty, get the second
Yeah.
goal, game over, and you win the game. Things that my Inter aren't able to do. And that's something that Juventus is always able to do. They get the chance, they finish the chance, they close the game.
What did you think?
Lazio, Milan. I think AC Milan did a very good job. Once again, when Simone gets to that point where he has to make the big step, he cannot get there. He gets close, and then when that game comes, say this is the game to keep it close. Tomorrow there's going to be Lazio. There's going to be Milan Juventus. That it's a tough game for for Juventus.
I thought it was a tough game for Milan because
Wait,
you guys going to win anyway.
What do you mean?
You guys going to win.
You got no pressure. So I think Milan is going to do well tomorrow. So, but every time that Lazio gets to that point, Simone, he just does not have it to go to the next step.
One, just to hit back on it, play devil's advocate. Do you think that part of the reason why he can't get to the next level is because Lazio's budget is not the same as a Juventus or an Inter or even a Milan.
Okay, but yesterday he was not playing against Juventus. He was playing against Milan.
No, but
So
Milan is a scrappy,
One second.
scrappy team.
yesterday it was a game that
They should have won.
You playing at home, you're going for Scudetto. You got to keep the pressure on. You got to win. That's a game you got to win.
yeah, but sorry. What I meant to say is, he doesn't have as deep of a bench or rotation where a guy like Immobile, who's his not only goal scorer, but scores the majority of his goals, and Caicedo, who are two starters, he's not able to have this rotation where you'll start seeing heavy legs in the midfield, or not just because you don't have the players, but also that they're constantly being played every couple of days, and they don't have the same freedom as Juventus do, where Dybala gets out and you can put a guy like Higuain in, or vice versa. I'm just asking you if that's a factor for him.
That might be a factor for Juventus. The rest of the teams, no.
No, I'm saying, is it a factor for Inzaghi? Is that why he can't get over? Because he doesn't have a good enough team?
But everybody's
But
having the
if
same problem.
What I'm
Anto.
saying is, if he would have lost to Juventus, I can accept that. But he didn't lose to Juventus. Okay, the rest of the teams, he should be able to win against the rest of the teams because he had the team and the team was playing well. The team was really playing nice soccer.
But you don't think they're drained
but-
playing the same exact
but
players
Gaetano,
every
you
week
can
where they
say-
can't make any rotation?
Yeah, they have injuries. You could say that they didn't have suspensions too. They don't have a deep bench. You could bring that as a fact. Not saying that's the reason.
But that's not the
too.
argument. That's not the argument because we're going to the same thing.
Listen,
you're saying,
who-
I know you're saying the 11. You're saying the specific 11. What I'm saying is I understand that that's the 11, but that 11 having to play all the time drains them. That they're not able to continue switching players
Okay,
out.
but he has 2-3 players. Correa hasn't started. He's been on the bench the last couple of games. He has an Caicedo.
Caicedo
Sometimes
is
he
not a
plays,
starter.
Sometimes he doesn't play.
He's been a
so-
starter.
He's been a starter
Not all the
last-
time.
Okay, I'm
he's-
tossing a question.
he's got a couple of players that he keeps on the
What
bench.
about Lukaku?
Okay, but I'm saying he might not have the same as Juventus.
Lukaku.
Okay, but he has the same as the other teams.
Yeah, but he's only 7 points off of Juventus.
Roma, if we go to the other
But look
teams,
how much higher Lazio is than Roma.
what about Atalanta and all the other teams?
I agree.
They're all the same. They're
But
all the
Marco,
same
because
boat.
of that, I think it's got a point. Your
The
father.
only one
Just-
that is not in the same boat is Juventus. Yeah,
And they're
you're
only
right.
7 points behind. Can 7 points, the difference between how much Juventus spend and how much Lazio spend, if you gave them that budget, what do you think the point gap goes to?
But I'm not upset about the 7 points. I'm upset about the game yesterday.
Okay.
That's the game that I'm upset.
Okay.
I think.
Well,
I,
let's move on.
you know
I'll
what?
just move on. It's
Let me
fine.
tell you
It's fine.
something. He said it's this game is about having the extra inch. Okay, so the extra inch of AC Milan is the youths that they have. This kid here, Salas Maker, he made this guy here. The guy was drunk. He made a run. Boom, 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 boom. The guy was turning left. He was turning right, and then the ref again. It was. Have you seen that play over there?
Yeah, I saw.
He totally destroyed the defense. He's a young kid. He's Belgium. I actually checked him out yesterday. He's from Belgium. He's got a lot of game on his. He's got a lot of talent, and I think AC Milan right now is focusing on this young talent that people like Conte. They said, no, we want nothing but the best. This guy here, Eriksen. Whatever, Sanchez, Lautaro, Lukaku, Messi, Ronaldo. I want it all. In other words, he wants everything. So AC Milan right now is little by little looking at these young kids and he's plugging them in little by little into the, this.
It's been like this for the past 10 years for AC Milan. by
Into
the
this
way.
project, but unfortunately, we've been like this for the last 10 years because we don't have money coming from China. So we have to just deal with the money that we have over here. We don't have money.
You have
That's
money
what
from
the bottom line
America.
is. America, there is no money in America. There is no money.
Guys, the two players that I would point out for Milan that I think have been standouts, Donnarumma, who he's got for the past 5 seasons in a row, he's had at least over 10 clean sheets a season. So this season he's already at 12. And if you could argue that his defense has not been the greatest also in these past 5 years, but as I say that, I contradict myself to say Kjaer. We all said it. We said it 5 different ways.
It's pronounced this way. No, this way. No, this way.
Kosher.
No, it's not. He's been really good. I think he's been a great pickup. I think he's only like $3.5 million. You guys are gonna buy him outright from Sevilla. Obviously, we remember him from the Palermo days, but he never really got to that level, at least in Serie A or in Europe. But he's been really solid for Milan and a place. So Great job by Milan. Huge win. Thank you, by the way. You see, I remember I sent you a picture. Did you see the picture I sent you of me with in the Milan kit?
Yeah.
You see, since day one, I'm always on your side.
I don't know
I,
about
I
that.
also just want to add, Milan played good. I don't want to take anything away from them. It could have been 5-0. Like, they played amazing.
Here
they
comes
played
the butt.
amazing.
Here comes the butt.
But Lazio didn't show up. I'm not blaming Milan, obviously. They played amazing, like I said. But Lazio looked like a team that didn't want to be. First of all, we all know they played with one striker, then Luis Alberto behind them because they didn't have anyone else on the bench. So they played like a 3-4-1-1 sort of because Luis Alberto
Whatever.
was playing.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Not really, because they usually have Luis Alberto more deeper, and I guess he's used to being more involved in the plays, getting the ball, sending the passes, and I guess up there, almost as a striker, he was left like kind of secluded, and he wasn't
Didn't you
used.
suggest that he should play as a striker?
I did, but now I guess it didn't work. I was like, maybe throw him in, maybe he's doing good, but he looked like a completely different player. Not just him, but Lazio in general, and Milan took advantage of that. Amazing on them, but
Good job, Anto.
this Scudetto race, it's looking tough.
I'm
now,
just
7
listening.
points.
I'm listening to Mike.
He's
So-
soaking up the compliments
Yeah.
because they don't come
I
around that
was
often.
surprised.
I want to
was
make sure it doesn't
surprised.
go off the track.
What do you
I
say?
was
The
so surprised.
Scudetto race is over.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say completely.
You know, and the Champions
Yeah.
League race is over. We know who's going to.
Yeah, the Champions League.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
Champions
top four.
League
Okay.
is over.
Okay.
Now Milan made a very interesting yesterday by winning, and now there's
Interesting.
yeah they're
Europa
1
League.
point from Europa League.
Yeah.
Two.
For Europa
2
League.
points,
For
okay.
Europa League campaign, yeah.
Really?
I was saying for Scudetto
That's
race.
important.
I was saying
Forget about
for
the Scudetto. Scudetto is over. I'm telling there is a nice race going on for the Europa League.
Yeah.
Actually, technically,
Wait, does everybody agree with
technically, we
that,
are on the
Peter?
Europa League, Gaetano. It's
Huh?
because Napoli, technically, if the Campionato finished the way it is right now, we are technically into the Europa League because Napoli,
Yeah,
by the virtue of
7th place.
winning the Coppa Italia.
They automatically into the
Yeah,
Europa
they are.
or
No, I think no,
if
it's
they stay like
qualifications,
this,
I believe.
if it
for
stays
7th
like
place.
this.
Yeah, yeah.
We all just went around. He said Scudetto's over. Scudetto's over.
Over.
Juventus won. I will say the same thing. I think
I think
Juventus
the
won.
quarto
Michael
posto-
says no.
I wouldn't say
Quarto posto
entirely.
is
One second.
Atalanta.
One second.
I wouldn't
one
say
second.
entirely. Juve still have to. It's 7 points. Juve still have to play Atalanta, right?
Milan.
Lazio, and Milan.
Yeah.
So that's,
That's
9
9
points. If Milan can nick a draw, I hope Milan could do that.
Wow.
Maybe they lose. Like Atalanta, very possible. Lazio beat them twice already.
Who's going to win? Lazio is going to, after yesterday performance.
Okay,
Inter,
they have one bad
after
performance.
yesterday
You're gonna base their whole
performance,
season on one
the only winner
performance?
would be Atalanta, who's doing very well. But
you're gonna
Atalanta
beat-
is 12 points away.
Okay, they're gonna have Immobile back, Caicedo back, Luis Alberto back in his position. You're gonna throw them off from one game?
The
Why are
problem
you
is
throwing out the whole season
the,
because of that?
the problem is Juventus can lose the points, but Lazio, Inter, whoever, they have to win everything.
No, yeah, I
every
get
game.
that.
game.
Yeah, okay.
It
That's
looks-
what I'm saying. It's
Mike is a hopeless romantic. He believes until
I'm not
until
saying
it's
entirely
mathematically
over.
not
I'm just
possible.
saying if I had a bet, I probably
Mike
wouldn't
is
bet on
using a
them.
Greek calculator.
Speaking, we said top four. Can we all agree that top four is going to be
Yeah,
the way that
top
it is?
four.
Not
Yeah.
saying the order.
It's done.
Top four.
Yeah.
The top
Okay,
four is-
perfect.
Atalanta is going to overtake
One
Inter
second.
1,000%.
It's not the point. It's not the point. It's not the point. I have our top four predictions from the beginning of the season.
I'm
What we
scared.
said beforehand.
Okay.
Now I don't remember if everybody knows. Who would you like me to say whose prediction first? Antonio's top four: Inter,
Wrong.
Juventus,
Wrong.
Milan,
Wrong.
Napoli.
Wrong. He got
out
every
of
single one
To
wrong.
be honest, we're all pretty bad. Like, it was
But I
wonderful.
picked Inter because after all the money that they spend, I figured I said,
That's your
hey.
fault. That's
2
your
out of
fault.
4.
Okay.
Okay, next.
Who do you want me to go to next? We'll let you choose. Michael, Juve first.
Okay.
Inter, which he says 5 points behind. He was very specific
It
in
should
saying
be at least minimum.
Napoli, and then Milan.
50-50.
50-50.
Who do you want next? You keep choosing. Peter.
Okay, I don't want
Juve
to last,
first, Inter second, Napoli third, and Lazio fourth.
3 out of 4.
Pretty good.
Three.
Not bad.
Pretty good with Lazio.
What did I have? But I think I wasn't here when you guys
You
did
weren't
it.
here, but we asked you the first day that you came back.
You asked
So you're
me
not
for
getting
the-
out of this guy, Tom.
So you got to watch a couple games too, so you had the
Oh,
advantage.
look at, I wish I had that advantage. Look at this guy.
Sometimes that could be
That's true. That's
it
true.
could work against you.
You had the exact same as Peter.
Wow.
You had the exact same as Peter.
so I had 3
no,
out
no,
of
no.
4.
Sorry. But you had Inter first. You had Inter, Juve, Napoli, Lazio.
Okay, but that doesn't matter.
Wait,
Right now.
why does that
Wait a
matter? I
minute,
think that's a
we're
big
doing
difference. For the
third-
Scudetto winner, that's
We're
a
doing
big
the top
difference.
three.
He
We're
gave a percentage for
75,
everybody, and he
75.
wasn't counting who went in order. He was
Right.
giving
Can
who
we
got
do
the
it
top
in
four.
order?
You got 50, 50, 75, 75.
Marco?
And then I had Inter, Juve, Napoli, and Roma.
I
put Roma.
50, 50. Okay.
Nobody did it. Nobody got more than 2.
3.
Wow.
We both got
Oh,
You
we
got
got
three,
both three.
Oh, you got
75.
Wow.
Lazio, yeah, the Lazio screwed
Napoli
me up.
tricked me. I thought
Nobody
Napoli
had
would-
Atalanta top 4.
Ancelotti.
Man, I thought
Nobody had Atalanta top 4.
Yeah.
That's the key right there.
Because
Disrespect.
usually a
That's
team
the
that goes
key.
to Champions
Right.
League, a smaller
Yep.
team, they don't know how to manage
But
it.
Atalanta
Gasperini
is not
a
the-
brainiac, right?
That's right.
Atalanta is the exception to almost
Seriously.
every rule that we
I'm
have.
happy they proved me wrong.
Let's go to Juventus. We'll save the Inter. We'll let the
derby?
blood boil a little bit. Juventus, yeah, the derby that hasn't been a derby in years. Torino are just very, very boring.
What a disaster team. I think since they came back, they haven't 1
Yeah.
point. I don't think they have.
But their new coach too. They've
They
been playing.
won. They have a win.
since they came back,
They have a win, yeah.
I think
a
one
win and a
game.
tie.
I'm gonna
One
check.
nothing.
I thought since they came back, they haven't done anything anyway. But
that-
Torino is.
They did get a win over Udinese, it says,
and
and they
that-
got a tie
What they
with
do?
Parma. That's it.
And then they lost the rest
And then
of the games.
they lost. Torino, my God, Juventus.
They're so hard to see.
They went up 2-0 right away. Dybala scored, I think, 125 seconds in. Dybala scored.
Wow.
5 goals in 5 games for Dybala. Again, I keep stressing the falsa nueve for me, for Dybala. I like it a lot. It's not a good. It's still not. It's too early to judge, of course. Still, I'm just liking the movements that he makes and the way that he moves around. And honestly, Juventus are looking good. I really enjoy the way that the team is playing now. There's some movement. There's some ideas. There's some style. It seems like the players understand a lot better. And again, you have to take it with a grain of salt because you're playing a Torino side. Torino almost got back into it. They were given a penalty kick late into the first half, which, in my opinion, I don't know. The penalty rule, the handball rule, it's out the window.
so
It's
inconsistent.
completely thrown out the window. It makes no sense. Hits Delik's thigh and then hits his hand. He gets a yellow card, which now he misses the match against Milan.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Again, it makes, in my opinion, that's never a penalty kick, let alone a yellow card. It's pretty ridiculous. But anyway, it didn't do much for Torino. Juventus went on to win the match 4-1. Ronaldo scored finally from a free kick. His first free kick goal in Serie A for Juventus.
Wow.
He missed so many, and you could see the relief on his face that he finally was able to score a free kick. And it was beautifully hit. Reminded me just like the one that he scored against Spain in the World Cup. So good job by him and good job by the team.
He said he needed it too. He's like, I
he
needed that
did?
goal after the match. He's
Yeah.
like, I needed that free kick.
What are you
No, I
gonna
was
say?
gonna go say with Cristiano Ronaldo, the first time that he lines up to take a regular free kick. Usually he wants to like blast it and make the
Yeah.
movement that he used to do with Manchester United. For what? You know. But that being said, I mean, for me, Dybala has
Incredible.
been on fire this past couple of games. 5 goals in 5 games, right?
Yep.
That's something. That's not easy.
And
feat.
again, if you remember last week, I said that he scored 10 Serie A goals. 7 of them came at 0-0. Now it's 11 and 8 came at 0-0. So difference maker.
Yeah, and I think Juventus, we were giving them a lot of problems the first couple of games that they came back. Coppa Italia, this game. Then what's wrong with them? What's wrong with them? But like I said, they usually find a way to win. When you have top players, you find the goal, you find the win. But the hardest thing, and you look at Inter, you look at all these different teams, Lazio, are the mental breakdowns. And a lot of teams go through it throughout the season where games slip out of the hand, but Juventus never seems to have those games.
We do.
In the beginning
We've
of the
had it.
season more.
No,
What?
that's not
towards
true.
the end,
In the
no?
middle of the season, we've had them.
But
Didn't we lose to
Towards the end.
Sassuolo or tie to Sassuolo? We tied to a
but,
bunch of those
but
teams.
the thing is,
In the middle,
And
beginning.
I
no?
said middle.
the
middle.
game
I'll find it right
the
now.
game can get out of your hand,
Lecce.
but it doesn't just change
Lecce.
drastically.
Thank you, Antonio.
As Lazio versus Milan or versus Inter versus Bologna, where Inter was playing outstanding and then all of a sudden something happened and everything started crashing down. Where you have a good mix of players on Juventus that have won in the past, that are winning teams, they know how to manage, and they have strong leadership. Something that different teams in the Serie A don't
we
have.
lost to Hellas Verona.
But wait a moment.
Jesus
Wait a moment,
Christ.
Pete.
That was in February.
Did
middle of the season.
Eriksen is got a winning
I'm talking about
mentality.
Juventus.
Okay, but
And
you
Eriksen,
guys-
what winning
He loves
mentality
Yeah,
is
Juventus.
let's,
that?
let's just stick
He
with
loves
Juventus for now.
Juventus.
Let's just stick. We're gonna get
Save
to
it
Inter.
to-
We're gonna get to Inter. We're gonna conclude with Juventus. That's it. Don't worry. We'll get to you. Anything else from UP?
He usually comes for the podcast. We just talked about it.
Torino's in
Yeah.
shambles, man.
Yeah.
They're just terrible. You don't know what's going on there.
What about
And
the
it's
Gallo
just-
Belotti?
Belotti's too isolated, man. He also, another problem with Belotti, he's got to learn what type of player he is, okay?
He doesn't
He's a
even know.
hustler, finisher Inzaghi, okay? That's his style. That's what he should be doing, okay? I'm not saying he's Inzaghi, but I'm saying his style
please.
should be Inzaghi. Not try to get the ball in the back, make a
Yeah.
cross, make a pass,
Come
try
on.
to dribble somebody.
He does drop
He
back a
can't-
lot. He does drop
Yeah.
back
You
a
can
lot.
drop back, but I'm saying when you have the ball on your feet, this guy tries to do too much with it. You're not the technical
He
player.
has no support.
You have to be that number 9 up top. But like you say, he doesn't have that guy that can.
Well,
give
Marquisio
it to
gave
him.
Marquisio gave a crazy quote. I don't know what the hell this guy was smoking.
Oh, yeah.
He said that Belotti is a striker that Juventus is missing.
Give me a break.
Well, you like Mandzukic a lot. Belotti is very similar to Mandzukic in the sense that he's an all-out hustler.
We got rid of Mandzukic for nothing, and you're gonna go buy Belotti for 60 million.
I'm not saying
No
this
way.
spend
Yeah,
60
they're not-
million,
he's not
but
even rated that much.
I'm saying that's
Belotti, I don't think that's the striker that Juventus need. Yeah, that's a striker that's gonna win you a Champions League.
no. I'm saying that Mandzukic type player, Belotti.
Mandzukic type player got kicked out of Juventus by Sarri. I'm just talking about Marquisio saying that that's a player that they're missing.
By the way, Belotti scored 4 Serie A goals in his last 4 Serie A games. Just throwing that out there. So
And nobody
What's
cares.
can you check the leading scorers
Yeah.
for Serie A?
Check.
Immobile, I think is how
29.
far? How far is
He's on 29. Ronaldo's on
Ronaldo.
25, and Lukaku's on 20.
20, yeah.
I have it on the top of my head.
Not bad.
Okay.
What
We'll
about
get to
Lautaro?
Lukaku for
What
sure.
about
It's
Lautaro?
exactly what I said, right?
Well,
25 and 20.
25 and 20.
and where is Dybala?
What about Lautaro?
Dybala's on 11.
$120 million.
He's got more in like Champions. I think he's got 16 total this season, but it's through all competitions.
Yeah,
He's got 10 goals.
What about Lautaro?
11
What about
Dybala.
Ronaldo,
Lautaro?
how many
Lautaro, I don't
penalties
know.
Ronaldo take?
What about Lautaro?
How many penalties?
You know,
I
they
don't know off
both
the top
more
of
or
my head.
less
11.
they all have
Well, I'm saying
close to each other.
if Dybala takes the penalties
Mike.
instead of Ronaldo, he's on 20 goals. If he's had 10, 11 penalties.
That's true. Also, big moment. Buffon became the most capped Serie A player of all time, one more than Paolo Maldini, 648 appearances. In second was Maldini with 647, Totti in third with 619, and in fourth Zanetti at 617. And he looked good. The guy's still in shape. Nobody can believe that he's 41 years old. My question, real quick, because Antonio's already rolling his eyes, is he the greatest goalkeeper of all time?
Never. Not even close.
Okay.
I can't be in, like,
Okay.
I don't know.
Peter?
I haven't watched
Is he
enough.
the greatest goalkeeper of all time?
Listen, for me, yes. And I've never seen Yashin. That's the guy that everyone says was
The
the
Russian
best
guy?
best goalkeeper.
Yeah. See, I don't know. I
But
don't
for
watch-
me,
I don't know.
Buffon
Better
has
than
been
Zoff,
top,
right?
better than Zoff. I haven't really watched Zoff play either, unfortunately. But I would say better than Zoff compared to what he's been able to do
Not even close.
in this game.
What do you
No,
say?
I didn't see that Yashin play either. I would say he's in the top probably 5 of all time.
I don't like that answer.
Go,
I thought you were going to say top 3.
I don't like that
I thought you were going to
answer.
say top 3.
Your lifetime.
top 3.
Your lifetime. Is
Top-
he the
top
greatest goalkeeper
3.
you've ever seen? Your lifetime. I don't care about Yashin. I don't care about anybody else. I just care about your opinion on what you've seen. Wow.
He's up there. He's probably number 1, number 2. I mean, I don't.
Who's the other person that you're thinking
I
about?
don't. You know, Zoff was
Zoff.
Zoff is up there too. I mean, with that World Cup, 1982 World Cup, he had a lot to do with it.
He was older too then, right?
40
Yeah,
years
He was
old.
very old, right?
yeah.
40? It was 40?
Yeah.
I remember
And he
that.
won the
Yeah.
1970 Euro.
1970.
Oh.
Okay.
For you, who's the greatest goalkeeper that you've ever seen in your lifetime?
Donnarumma.
Oh, okay.
Let me tell you why.
Anto.
Let me tell you why.
We're not a comedy podcast.
Let me tell you why.
Speaking to Mike, at least.
Yeah,
Let me
seriously.
tell you why.
Yeah,
A goalkeeper, you don't judge on his career. You have
What do you judge
but my question
you
is
have
the
to
career.
judge him on his skills. Donnarumma, given the size that he has,
Exactly.
What?
Can I finish?
Okay,
Then
sorry.
you can
Skills have
laugh.
nothing to do with size. He was born with that.
Buffon is gonna have the ball 10 times. He's gonna have to do. He's gonna have the. You know what? The gap between Buffon and Donnarumma right now.
But I don't care about right now. That's not my question.
But I listen. Without
I'm just saying all time.
Should I drop dead in the next 10 years? I know that Donnarumma is gonna outshine Buffon, but not by 20 times.
That's good, and I'll ask you in 10 years from now. But my question is today: who is the greatest goalkeeper of all
That
time?
I have seen is Donnarumma.
Okay, fair enough.
Are you kidding
Hands
me?
All
down.
right, fair enough.
He's 20 years old.
All right,
Hands
fair enough.
down.
Why are you arguing? Why are you arguing?
Because it doesn't make sense.
It's his opinion. It's his opinion. That's his
Hands
opinion.
down.
That's his opinion. Everybody's entitled to their
Gaetano,
opinion.
what do you think about that, honestly?
doesn't-
Because that gets me mad. What do you think?
No, let the
Let the audience.
let the audience reply to.
All right, we'll make Antonio happy now.
Okay.
Inter. Go. Inter lost to Bologna. They were up 1-0.
So you see, if you start with Antonio with Inter, he's gonna go first, then he's gonna go third, then he's gonna go fifth.
Let's start with him. Start with him. Tell him what I think about Inter.
That's actually a very good point.
Right.
That's actually a good. All right, you know what? Let's switch it. Start off with Inter. You start off with Inter.
I start out with Inter.
Yeah, you start off with Inter.
Okay, so the first thing that
I like how you tilt your body towards Peter as you're saying this. By the way, I noticed that.
So a couple of things. From the article that you sent me today on the podcast, on the WhatsApp, he assumed a lot of responsibility. He said everybody is responsible. I'm responsible. I screw up. I'm the one that puts the team on the. But everybody's going to is going to be examined, and everybody could be out.
Could be questioned, yeah.
Could be questioned. I came here with a project. I know it's my first year of the project, but everybody's going to be questioned. I think the first thing that Antonio Conte has to figure out is if the glass is F full or F empty. Because he keeps bringing up this glass, that it's always F empty. Okay, so that's the first thing he's got to. Then, the next thing that he has to figure out is they called Eriksen today, that was on the headline, impalpable. And that's the question that I'm asking. Eriksen, impalpable. Can you maybe elaborate a little bit? Because Eriksen is a player that I like. I think he's got the skills, got the vision, but he's not that complete player I think that Inter is looking for. And I think that Antonio Conte's got a little doubt about this guy Eriksen. But I didn't understand what impalpable meant. So maybe
Michael.
you can
Mike has a
explain.
definition.
I told Peter if you want
Say it. Say it.
go
No,
ahead.
say it for the audience, though.
Okay.
That's fine.
We want the audience to know what it means. I don't even know what it means, impalpable. I have an idea of what it means, but I don't know what the real definition means.
Not completely understanding like the grasp of something, basically.
That's what it means.
Not
So they-
easily comprehensible.
Yeah.
So they're saying that
Comprehensible.
Eriksen doesn't understand.
Not easable. Not easable.
Not
Comprehensible.
comprehensible.
Not, in other
Not
words,
easily
It's
comprehensible.
something that you
It was-
cannot
it was
really
saying that in
figure
regards to-
out. It's something that you cannot figure it out.
It takes more time than usual to understand.
What was the
immediately.
sentence about
It's a
Eriksen?
question mark.
He's
It was just 2 words. Ericsson.
Oh, okay.
Impalpable.
Okay.
Period.
Saying he doesn't fit or doesn't understand the system of Conte.
Or
I
taking
think the
No,
opposite.
no, no,
I
No,
think
no, I don't
they-
know. That's why I'm asking.
based on what he said, I think it's more so the journalists or the fans not understanding Eriksen, not understanding what his role would be in this Inter, because you have games where he looks amazing
Oh.
and games where
Oh,
he's
I
a
didn't think
flop.
about it like that.
That's how I interpret.
Oh,
it.
I
don't know if you
didn't even
interpret
think about it
differently.
like that.
I didn't think about that
I didn't
either.
even consider
See,
that.
this is
Okay,
the- this
sorry.
is the-
wait. Let him finish. Let him finish.
Yes, yes, Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, finish what you were.
No. That's basically what what I wanted to say.
Pete, how did you feel as an Inter fan? The loss to Bologna.
This game reminds us of Spalletti days, Mazzari days, not happy days.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is a game where Inter's in full control the first half. And you even get Soriano gets a red card. You say, okay, Inter can manage this game.
I thought it was completely over when
we
they
get
got the red card.
We get the penalty. We should score 2-0. End this game, 10 men. We're fine.
But
Then
Pazza Inter.
exactly, and then all of a sudden, one mistake creates this domino effect on Inter, where they're still very fragile mentally, where you have players that maybe playing the past couple of years with Inter in that fragile state have led them to get back into this blackout for some reason. I'm not trying to make it, bigger than what it is, but just the point is,
No, make it, Pete.
Conte, for the first half of the season, seemed like he had control of this team. And now all of a sudden, he seemed to have lost the balance. Inter's defense in the beginning was amazing,
Great. Yeah.
right? All of a sudden, they're letting in almost 2 goals a game, 3 goals versus Sassuolo, and it doesn't see, and it's not even the amount of goals that they let in, but the amount of chances they give up. And this has been something that we're looking at, and you're saying this is not Antonio Conte's
Philosophy.
working, when you think of Juventus and you think of Chelsea. What I do want to say is, a lot of people have been criticizing Conte. He's even come out now more than one time saying it's my fault or I take responsibility. The only thing that I have to say is that Conte has made mistakes, but we cannot, just as much as mistakes that every coach in Serie A in Europe has done. The only difference is, I think the expectations for Inter, the way that they started in the beginning, Conte, the first year he won with Juventus, the first year he won with Chelsea, he's going to win the first year with Inter, right? And so there's a lot of these expectations. Then Inter's actually playing well now the first half of the season. You say, okay, now I think they bought into the Conte system. And no, I think Juventus still were the real leaders in this pack because of their players the players that they have.
Lazio's ahead of you.
Yes, Lazio's ahead of us,
Atalanta
but
too soon.
Lazio's having a remarkable season, and I think Lazio even beat Juventus. They've challenged a lot. Conte.
I was only saying that to your comment about Juventus being the lead. That's the only thing.
yeah.
I was just
I
saying
mean-
in regards to that.
And I think also Inter, right? You have certain players that are just not for Inter. Gagliardini, this man has
This
lost
man.
lost that chance versus Sassuolo.
How many points has he
Wolves-
cost you in the
the
past
penalty-
week?
Wolves at the clearance, and it's like this is not what you should expect to clear the ball and just get out of danger's way. Lautaro, big problem with Lautaro.
How much is he
taking
worth
the
now, by
taking
the
the penalty. It's usually Lukaku's ball. Lautaro gets the ball. It's funny that I said with Sanchez the week before that Sanchez got the penalty kick. Kind of seemed like Lukaku was giving Lautaro the chance to get on the scores sheet and break the chains. Really, I thought the first half, Lautaro didn't play necessarily great, but he wasn't that bad. The goal that Lukaku scored was off of Lautaro making a good run, first post run, and getting the header onto the post.
Unlucky goal too.
Okay, but he was the one that did that. A run that he made, Eriksen put the through ball. Skorupski makes this save. So I mean, like he was getting the chances, but he's not finishing. And this is
He
something.
couldn't buy a goal.
Yeah, this is something that's wrong.
You could
with,
tell. You
with-
could tell that in his mind he knew he wasn't going to score.
He looks very
Like if you
frustrated.
watch him when Lukaku scores, I'm not saying he was unhappy that Lukaku scored, but he laid back like, God damn, I can't even. I hit the
Yeah.
post again. Like I'm doing everything right, but I'm not able to score. I definitely saw that.
Yeah, and so you missed the penalty. Wolf at the clearance. Juara scores. Then the second goal Bologna scored was a transition goal.
It was beautiful.
And it's not something that Inter defense or Conte system should be allowing. Completely unmarked. It was a mess. Those last couple of minutes was a complete mess.
Can I say something, or you want to go?
No,
on?
go ahead.
Okay.
And then you're gonna accuse me that
No, it's fine. I agree with you. And the two things I commented on this game, there were two question marks that I really had for Conte's team. Number one, we all said why Sanchez was not starting. And I think that he was too scared to put Lautaro on the bench. That's my opinion. I think he was too scared to put Lautaro on the bench. And that was a mistake. And the second mistake, which Conte also spoke about, which he said that it was a mistake on the field that he was not happy with, is Lautaro taking the penalty kick. And now, I give Lukaku a lot of credit. He's a team player. I understand that he wants to make the team play better. He cares about his teammates. but you're not up 3-0 in this match. It's not 6-0 against Brescia where you get a penalty kick and you give it to, all right, let's let Bastoni take a penalty kick. No, you're 1-0. It was on 1-0. It was on 1-0.
Yeah.
To me, and in my opinion, that's Lukaku's ball every single day. You give it, you score 2-0, and then you worry about Lautaro getting a goal. Go 3-0 up and then worry about your teammate getting a goal.
that's true.
That was two mistakes that I saw. Sanchez should have been starting. Lukaku should not have been taking that penalty kick.
And Gagliardini shouldn't have been starting.
I never liked that.
Okay, first of all,
Oh boy, here we go.
I don't.
Fishing. He's going fishing.
You can tell he's smiling
Yeah,
even
I
he has
know.
a mask on. this
First
guy.
of all,
First of all.
I heard you saying Conte's system. What's the Conte's system? What is it? Conte's game. What is it? What is it?
High press.
High press.
3-5-2.
What does that
now
mean?
he's
He
variation.
invented them?
No, you
never
don't
said
invent
that.
it, but
He
the
didn't
team worked.
Oh, he worked for that. And
It's
you call it
working.
a Conte system.
Well, it's his system. He's implementing a system. The team is playing his system. You can definitely see Conte's identity here.
Conte identity.
His style.
Conte system. Wait a moment. Conte system, Conte identity. You know what other BS this guy here does? He goes recruiting player. He goes to Pallotta. What's his name? Marotta.
It says it wrong
Goes
every
to
single
Marotta and he tells, hey, by the way, I want Eriksen. At the press conference, it's Zanetti right there behind your back. It's Zanetti, Suning, whatever is his name.
Zang.
And the the guy that they signed. They ask him a bunch of questions. Un giocatore molto importante. He's a very important player. This guy has been shown during all of his career has been done. So it's a great sign for Inter. Now, all of a sudden, to pick up on what he just said before, he has Sanchez that has been proven a different maker over there the week before. He puts Sanchez on the bench. You want to? I will answer the question about Lautaro for you. Lautaro is on the market because they don't want him anymore. And because now other teams are starting to second guess themselves. Number one. Number two, Sanchez should have started the game. Because Lautaro wants to get away from Inter. He has to be showcasing what he's capable to do. So that's why. Number one, the penalty that Lukaku was supposed to take, he took it. He said, oh, that's my ball. I got to score because otherwise my price is going down.
Lukaku gave him
No,
the
yeah,
ball.
he gave it
didn't
to
take
him.
it. He
It was
didn't
a
take
gesture.
it.
Listen to me, please.
I'm listening.
You guys, you want too many things, but there is no leadership over there at every level. Conte is not a leader because obviously what's going on the field is very embarrassing to say the very least. How the hell are you taking 2 goals like that from Bologna, from 2 kids that nobody know who they are, with the best defense? You have Andanovic. I mean, Skriniar was still not on the field, but you have this guy here, Bastoni. You have nothing but the best player. And what happened? You seeding a world champion almost. Okay, that you were just bragging about. Oh, we got in, we got this, we have a wall, we have a concrete wall on defense over there. What happened? You not cover anything. You not cover the defense. You not cover the midfield. Every time everybody's failing. Everybody. You know why? Because they play scared. They play scared because Conte. If they don't do exactly what he wants to do, micromanage everything, he's going to sit them down. What happened with Sanchez? Put him in. Put Sanchez in. He's the one who's a different maker. He can score. He can dictate the pass. And he has a good vision on the ball. I wish I had Sanchez on AC Milan.
I thought you were going to say, you wish you were Sanchez. I thought you were about to say that.
You guys are a total mess.
Can I pose a
man.
question? Since Peter, I was sending Peter some fans. Some Inter fans are very, very, very upset. And I do agree with Peter that it's probably a little bit exaggerated. And Peter also said probably a lot of it also comes from his Juventus past. And there's always things that you could pick away at a person. But there's a lot of Inter fans who went from in the beginning of the season, we're on the right path, we have a specific project, Conte is the man, to now, not saying that Conte is not the man, but there's question marks over how good of a season you're having because Spalletti finished 3rd last season, right? And 3rd? Yeah, it was 3rd,
I
right?
think it was third, yeah.
And you're in 3rd right now, or at least at this point, he was still in 3rd. And is Conte not succeeding at Inter at this point? Is he failing as Inter's coach? or were the expectations too high
Okay.
to manage?
Okay, and I just want to add something in. Okay.
But answer my question specifically.
Okay.
Don't go to another topic.
Right.
No, I'm gonna say wait. I'm gonna add it, and then I'm gonna say other stuff too. First of all, there's so much Okay, Conte deserves a lot of the blame that's been happening. Yes, we gotta understand though. Like a lot of people are just going crazy. Oh, all this. They should be right next to Juventus. This is Conte's first season, and yes, I know he won it at Chelsea in his first season. He's won it. Where else did he win it?
Juventus.
Juve's first season. And people maybe just had that in the back of their head. We got this he has a whole new squad. Yes, they spent so much money, but this is the first season. It didn't even finish yet. With a brand new squad. It takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. It's a project that they're building. And yes, you could criticize Inter or whatever, not playing good, but then you got to look at the positives too. They're building something here. So even though, yes, they should be closer to Juventus and stuff, they got a whole new squad. They're getting Hakimi. They're fortifying. They're playing better.
Mike,
they're improving.
Mike, we're talking
What?
about this year. We're talking
Yeah,
about
yeah,
now.
I get that.
They're
I get that.
getting.
No. I get that. But I'm saying you got to see both sides of it. For
Okay,
sure.
now let me just ask you a question
Yeah.
before we get everybody else's opinion on my
Okay.
question. If Sarri was 11 points off of first place, in third place with Inter, would you be saying it's Sarri's first year? It's a new team. It's a new system.
Well, we've been saying it because they weren't playing
okay,
good for
and
that too.
I know, and they're in first place.
Yeah. Well, Juve had.
It's his first season.
Yeah, I get that, but I'm saying Juve's been winning it consecutively
Okay.
for 7 years, so he already has a pretty, for the most part, winning squad that has that DNA for the most part of it. So he's more of like taking over of the squad rather than Conte getting a whole new squad and trying to gel everything together with no one knows each other.
I think the point for Inter fans is we were in third place last year. We spent a lot of money.
Yeah,
We're paying
I
a
get
coach
that.
11 million a
Yeah,
year.
100%. They expect better results.
And Lazio is ahead of us, and Atalanta might pass us.
No, they will pass that.
Okay.
Forget about May. May
it's Conte-
over.
it's
No, we are
Conte-
in July.
I'm just saying, look at both
And
sides.
just real
even though
quick,
he
I don't want an
deserves the
explanation, but
criticism.
do you think Conte is not succeeding at Inter at this point?
No.
The
I'll
question
answer for you.
is
No.
The question is a loaded question, but
Okay.
he's not. He's. I think the question is, Conte, is he gonna be the right person to lead Inter? Let's say to a Scudetto.
Can he win with it?
Can he
Can he
win?
win a Scudetto with Inter?
I think so. Yes.
When? In 10 years? Okay. So
Because
why?
next year Juventus
Wait.
is probably going to fix the problems the cracks that they saw
Let
this
me
year.
finish what I was
Yeah.
saying before to all of
Yeah.
us. First of all, Pete said, "Oh, this is Conte's system." No, what's the Conte system? The high pressure. I can name you 10 teams in Serie A that do high pressure.
One second. I think you're understanding it wrong. When he says system, he doesn't mean that the
He
system
invented
is
it.
Conte's system. He just means that
Mentality.
when Conte came, he's not saying he invented it or it's only specific to Conte. He's just saying that's how the team looks.
That's the thing to look. Well, how did it look like?
It's basically saying the characteristics of
It's a
Conte's team,
style.
not that it's Conte's system, that he owns that system.
He thinks you have
He's
to
saying
invent
it's
the system
He's saying it's
so
the
it can be
characteristics
his-
of Conte's
Yeah.
team. That's
Listen,
it.
That's how he
listen.
plays.
He's not trying to say that he built it.
75% of the team playing Serie A right now, they do high pressure on the ball. I can name you one by one,
No, it's
including.
fine. It's fine. It's
believe
fine.
Okay, it's fine. So you
fine.
believe? So this
I
is-
agree with you. I
Don't
agree with you.
let's not throw this, gratuity BS. This is Conte's signature.
He's not saying that. He's saying
Okay,
how they
Mike.
play.
Mike, just let him go.
Conte did not invent that high pressure.
He didn't say he invented the.
You just you just
didn't
flipping
say
around.
that.
Conte did not invented high pressure. He did not invented the 3-5-2.
didn't
He
say
did not
that.
invent the 3-4-2-1, whatever. He didn't invent anything. If I was an Inter dirigent, I would say to Conte, listen. I was a manager.
go.
If I was a manager, I would say to Conte, I said, listen, you've been given this project. The least we expect from you to be on the third place in striking distance of Juventus. If we lose by 2, 3 points, 4 points, 5 points at the most,
He's on pace
no,
for
it's
that.
not. If you lose by 3, 4,
sure
or
you
5
don't?
points at the most, we will give you, a rain check for next season for you to coach again. Now, given the fact that so far, with all the money that you guys have spent, transfer seasons, buying everything that is on the market, grabbing basically everything, anything that is around. Okay, I want it. Just do like this. It's just everything comes to Conte. You have a tremendous bench. For me, much better than what they have. Much better than the bench that Juventus have. You have nothing to show for.
Where's the
You
better
have
bench?
Nothing to show
How is it
for.
a better bench?
Look at your midfield.
Are you kidding me?
Where's
The
the
defensive
injured
bench
bench?
is much
You
better
have
than
a
ours.
Barella.
Yeah, they're all injured,
Barella,
bro.
Sensi, Eriksen.
Those are
Okay, they're
starters.
injured. That's not
Eriksen.
that's
No,
not the
but
point.
those are
Juventus
starters.
has injuries too.
But those are starters.
Okay, but you have 3 places, and your 4th person on the bench is better than any of the replacements from Juventus.
those are all national team
We
players.
can't argue that. I understand
You're
that.
looking just the midfield. What about the
Listen,
other positions?
I know. I only spoke about the
Peter,
midfield though.
all the people that you have on your squad, at some point, and still right now, they played on their team's national team, on their nation.
Okay.
Okay, what does that mean?
So is Milan.
That's
so
not.
is
No.
Napoli, so does-
Who do we have on the bench?
Donnarumma? Oh,
Who do we have on the bench? Nobody.
I don't know what you have on your bench.
Listen to me.
it's in the national team.
You guys have spent so much money, you got nothing to show for. Enough of this trying to protect Conte. Conte is a failure. He's a failure. End of the story.
I think
Hands
if,
down.
I said it before. I think if he was still in Champions League, there would be some understanding. They'd be like, all right, listen, he's still in Champions League, or if he went to Coppa Italia final, there could be something. But it kind of felt like that piece fell, right? And then you're like, all right, but still, we can still win Coppa Italia. We're still in the Scudetto race. Then the Coppa Italia fell in a bad manner. Then you're like, all right, we have the only thing we have to do is try to get as close to first place as possible, and then you fall again. So I think it's like kind of those stumbling blocks. It's the addition of everything. It's not just one singular piece that's annoyed the Inter fans, and I understand, and I think that they are justified to an extent of being annoyed. And I've never seen Conte take responsibility like he has in this. I don't know if that's a good thing.
He was asked to do that. He
He-
was asked. I don't think he wanted to do that. He
honestly,
was asked to
he-
go and to say what he has to say.
He looks very fed up with the situation,
Yeah.
and he even said I wish that my players would have even 1% of the disappointment that I'm feeling, which means, in other words, the players don't care as much as I care right now. They're not as annoyed as I am. No, that's exactly what it means.
I don't know.
It-
I don't know about that.
You don't know, but that's exactly what it means.
What do you mean?
Gaetano-
He
He
says,
that.
I wish my
Yeah,
players could
I
have
get that.
even 1% of
Yeah.
the disappointment that I feel.
That just shows how high his disappointment is.
Absolutely
not
not.
saying that his players aren't disappointed.
That's not true.
What
You
do
know
mean
why?
That's not
It's-
true.
it's
That's the
not-
way you interpret it.
It's not true.
Wait,
not
no,
true
hold on.
about
Tell you
that.
the
Because
reason.
one context to it is that he made the media wait for over an hour because he
Okay.
was screaming at his team inside the locker room.
Okay.
They clearly did not understand the importance, and he felt the importance a lot more than his players did. And he said that if you read through the lines of what that means, even 1%, that's saying a lot about the mentality of the team. It's saying a lot about it. And he's a serial winner who only expects the best. And he's at this point where he's like, they're still not giving me what I want. And I'm not saying that he's not wrong. I'm just saying that that's exactly what he's trying
You're
to
jumping
say.
the gun a little bit.
I'm not.
I
It's
have a
true.
good point, and I wanted to just ask your father, Gaetano. Do you think that Marotta will have all of those rumors about market transfer, about Lautaro this, Lautaro that, just percolate into from the locker room into the major newspaper, sports channel, and all the stuff? This Lautaro distraction. Lautaro is becoming nothing but distraction. The pressure is building up on the kids that is no longer focusing on the game. That's the bottom line. This is just everything, that kind of attention has been felt on the field too. Because this guy here goes to
Definitely.
take the ball from
Definitely.
Lukaku, and then it's not what he said on the game.
Definitely.
He said it somewhere else. So this is a failure from the management side, from Marotta's side, and Conte. Conte should have said to Marotta, hey, by the way, not on the public TV, he said, hey, can you just quiet down all of those rumors about this transfer
Marotta
between this
tried
guy?
to. He said that we want to keep him. What more can he say?
Well. I'm
can
not
he
sure
say?
about that. Barcelona's been putting a lot of pressure on that. He should have said to Barcelona, listen, can we talk about this all nonsense?
Either way, his deal expires tomorrow, so he's not getting the 111 million to
So
Barcelona.
I think the price is coming further
We're
down
safer
now.
with that, I
Further
think.
down. What's the price now? 2 weeks ago was what? 250. Now
If
what are
you
we?
want to laugh?
Yeah.
They're talking about increasing it.
Yeah, they're gonna renew the contract and they're gonna increase the
He's gonna-
Go ahead.
buyout clause.
I love that. Keep him.
Anything to conclude?
No, I agree with you that I think the project, he has a project. I saw Inter in the first half, and I saw in Coppa Italia. There were times where everything was one touch, and it really looked good, the way they were moving the ball around. Of course, the project is going to take time, and I've always been a supporter of Conte, but yesterday I agree with you. He made two big mistakes, and one was Sanchez should have started the game. Lautaro wouldn't have been in the game, and that penalty, he wouldn't have taken it. So I think he has responsibility, but the project is a 3-year project. Most of the coaches, they want 3 years to show what the project is all about. So, okay, he was successful in Chelsea, he was successful in Juventus. Yeah, here it might take a little bit more. The players, the DNA of the players, it's not all the same. Some players, they will acquire and they will listen to you, and whatever you're selling, they're buying. Some players will take a longer time to buy, and apparently he's very dissatisfied with the players that he has now. And he said he's going to make some changes. And there were 6 or 7 names this morning in the newspapers that they're on the way out.
One last thing, just to conclude, just to tie the knot on it, is I thought that this was the best year. Like you're saying, it's a 2-3 year project, right? In my opinion, they probably had their best possible chance to win this year.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. Because I thought Juventus transitioning with Sarri was going to take a lot longer. And Juventus made so many mistakes in the summer mercato with trying to sell Dybala, with not increasing the midfield, with not one good right back, with so many things that were wrong that next year, I think it gives Juventus an opportunity to be like, oh, wow, we screwed up over there. Let's reinforce an already better team. And then how does Inter compete with that?
I think whenever it's a Scudetto race, it's not the head-to-head challenges. It's what you do with the smaller teams. When Juventus, that's where the mentality comes out. When you're talking Champions League, usually the better players, better teams, they usually end up being the last team standing or one of the last teams standing. In the Scudetto race, it always comes down to how you fare versus the lesser team, because those are the points that big teams usually are able to win, even if it's the worst way possible, right? And teams such as Inter, Lazio, that are trying to find their identity, they lose or they lose points. Conte, we lost 4 points, right?
Sassuolo?
No, I'm sorry. 5 points. Sassuolo, Bologna. Games that we were in the lead that we should have won. And you're talking about the 5 points to Juventus.
And you're still 11.
And
you know what? The most important thing that has been missing in this conversation is this. This situation with Lautaro, and then I'm going to finish
And
with
that's
that.
it. Yeah,
It's
let's
been
move on. We gotta move on.
replayed. It's been replayed in a different, on a different setting with what happened with Icardi.
I swear to God, I knew you were going to say.
Icardi.
I actually.
It's
You know
like I
what?
listened to all the
It's
podcasts.
minute 57 and
Icardi-
he didn't mention Icardi.
Icardi,
I knew it was coming.
At some point,
I
being
knew
one
it
of the
was
best
coming.
strikers in Europe, it was benched. It was ready to play again. It was kept on the bench because what went on between Vandanara and Marotta.
Okay.
Then the guy wanted to play again. They plugged him in. Soon enough, the guy started to get the press. He wanted out. Sure enough, this is what is going to happen to Lautaro. Lautaro right now is going to be watch the next move of Conte. He's going to put him on the bench. He's going to leave him over there. Maybe he's going to give him 15 minutes here, 20 minutes
He
there.
must be benched next game.
It's totally different.
It's totally
than
different, but in a
Icardi.
way-
You can't compare Icardi and Lautaro. It's totally
well,
different.
I can
The one
see
thing
it.
I agree, he needs to be benched next game. It's
You
not just
gotta
has to be
bench him.
starting.
You gotta
has to be
bench him.
starting. Let's move on. More important question. Atalanta are 5 points off second place. Can Atalanta finish second place?
Yes.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yes, there are plenty of
Yeah,
games.
yeah, of course. The way they're playing right now, of course.
Definitely ahead of Inter. They're going to finish ahead of Inter. That's even.
They're 1 point from. They're 1 point from
oh,
Inter.
Atalanta could go second place. I think they're the one team that's on fire, man.
No one can
Whatever
stop them,
they
I feel
touch is like the golden touch.
Their next,
to gold.
to conclude the season, let me read their games. They're playing Sampdoria at home, Juventus away, Brescia at home, Verona away, Bologna at home, Milan away, Parma away, and then the most exciting, the last match of the season, at home against Inter,
Man.
which could easily be either for second or third place.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
Which is going to be very exciting. Again, 1 point difference between Inter and Atalanta.
Wow.
And Atalanta, it's not that it really matters, to be honest, because second,
That's
third,
true.
and fourth.
But
But
it's
there's
amazing to see.
significance, but even though they all qualify automatically, it's no longer... It used to mean a lot if you finished between fourth and third, because the fourth was not automatic spot,
Yeah.
but now it is
It's
automatic.
qualification.
Just to give clarity, but it's something. If Atalanta would finish in second place, I think that we'd have a crazy story.
Listen, you guys have been winning this year by default because Inter is sucking, Napoli is sucking, Lazio is sucking, everybody else is sucking. Not because to give credit to
When
to
is the
Sarri.
Champions League starting?
August.
Next
like
August
7th.
7th it starts.
Is that after
Mamma
the season
mia.
is
Yeah.
over?
Yeah, after the
Yeah.
season's done.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be a couple weeks in Portugal. Let's move on. Where
What
else
about
we got?
Napoli Roma?
Napoli, yeah.
Napoli Roma. Insigne, what a goal. What a goal, Insigne, to win the
It
game.
looked like it was gonna be a draw, right?
Yeah.
And then Insigne out of nowhere, the captain makes a tight angle.
I was
top
thinking it would be a
right,
draw.
90.
I was thinking it would be a draw because both teams, they didn't really have too much.
But can he do that in the national team? That's the
All right.
bottom line. He never does that.
Yeah, you can't keep going back to the same argument
Never
every
does
time,
that.
Anto.
We don't need that.
Also, a good storyline that I really loved from this match was Zaniolo. 175 days after tearing his ACL,
He's back, baby.
back on the pitch, back to playing. Really wishing him a lot of success, and it meant a lot for him. I think his dad said like he was a lion in a cage, just waiting to get back
Agent.
on the pitch.
His agent, I think.
His agent? I thought it was his dad. Maybe they're the same thing.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
What anybody had any thoughts about the Napoli Roma match? You have any thoughts?
That's a good point with the Zaniolo. I saw him. He came in. He was running 100 miles an hour. I mean, he wanted to go and fight on every ball. As far as I thought they were going to tie too. I thought the game was going to be a tie, but then there was that beautiful goal by Insigne that made the difference. They interviewed Gattuso after the game, and he wants the same mentality game after game. He wants to be able to keep the same mentality. And he said that some of the players, they asked them, who are the players that that don't have your mentality? And of course, he didn't mention anybody, but he made understood that some of the players are just not up there. And so there's probably going to be some changes there too.
Did Manolas do anything?
He was subbed during the game. Another floppy sign. He just
He just came back. I mean, it was the first
Yeah,
day back.
yeah,
I don't want to
first-
say it. Yeah.
I was gonna go off of Gattuso mentality, right? How he's able to. Gattuso mentality is okay.
yeah.
Okay.
He invented mentality.
His way.
Gattuso's the inventor of mentality?
Gattuso played for a winning team.
Okay. But his
Gattuso played for AC Milan.
his
He
approach
played for AC
his
Milan.
approach to the game is that intense.
Die hard.
And so a lot of Napoli fans, Insigne is like the poster boy, but at the same time was always a scapegoat to point to and say, "Oh, this guy, when a big game comes up, he doesn't
Show
prove
up.
himself, show
This
himself."
guy.
Right? So we don't have the definition over here. Can you get the Neapolitan dictionary?
What?
I'll search for one word.
Cazzim.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
we know that.
Well, like
Okay,
Cazzim.
where's Lou?
It's like
Yeah.
passion and
Yes.
grinta all in one.
Exactly.
Basically.
We had a Napoli fan one time came up to us and he just started screaming Katsima. It was the first time I ever heard the word.
Exactly.
So
It was on
that's a-
videos in one of our
That's
videos.
a Neapolitan slang
Word, yeah.
for something when.
People that got balls.
Okay, thank you. So this
Although
is something
you should
that
have a website where you just define every word. System, mentality,
franchise player.
choker.
Antonio's there.
Wanda,
But going back, Insigne with Gattuso seems like he's playing with Katzim. Like he every time he's on the ball, he wants to do something. He's attacking it, the defenders. So listen, it's something that every player should have, but sometimes you need that flame to be able to light it up.
Let's move on to just some other talking points. Rangnick.
Ragnick.
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 No, I don't
Yeah.
think there's a ch sound. He's German.
Okay, Ragnick.
Yeah, I think Ragnick. I
Bravo.
think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah,
I guess.
we got a Greek and Italian saying how to say a German name, so we might all be wrong. Let's understand that.
Nine.
He's now that Sky is saying that he is going to be not only the coach,
Yeah,
he's going to be the technical director, the head of medical at the club, and also other things that haven't been defined yet.
That
The
means
guy-
Maldini's out.
He's
the
a
guy
chef
must
also.
be a genius. He's going to be able to head everything. I can't believe it. Like you said, Maldini apparently has been offered role of club ambassador, and he doesn't like that. It's to go from technical director
Yeah.
to
He's
club.
not
club
gonna really do
ambassador. You know what club ambassador is?
They don't do
When it
anything.
comes to the
Go around
party.
taking pictures.
Yeah, take a picture.
He's
They're
like,
just there for
autographs.
face, right?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah. So Maldini is almost certain to be out. Antonio, first of all, how do you feel about I know we might not be very familiar with him, and I think that we need to get somebody on that knows German football that could actually tell us about him. He's obviously very sought out, and Milan are putting a lot of faith into the guy to be able to give him
14 jobs.
right off the bat. He's gonna drive the bus too.
Listen, I said, I love Maldini. Maldini is the history of AC Milan, is the AC Milan DNA. But, we've been 5 or 6 years already just looking from outside, looking inside. And we fell at the last couple for a few points here, a point there, 2 things like that. I said, what is there to get, what we got to lose? I mean, I might as well give it a try to this guy here. I like to see Maldini to be the technical director, but you know what? This is not about soccer. This is about money. This guy here is the owner of AC Milan right now, Elliott Group, and they wanted to try to leave or to sell the team when the team is doing a little better than we're doing right now. So that's what I think is going to happen with this Rangnick over here. They're going to plug 3 or 4 young kids that they already scouted, and some of them they're coming from the team that is coaching right now, because I've been reading on and off about this guy here. And they're going to try to flip the team because this Elliott Group is not into the business of being or loving soccer. They don't like the soccer game. They want to just take the profit. They want to just go to the next level, and then eventually just maybe with the new stadium and things like that. And eventually
So you're happy with Ralph? We'll call him Ralph. That's easy.
I'm not happy. I don't know him that well. I'm not happy, but I said there is nothing that we can lose. It's not that we are winning right now. I said we're winning. Let's try something else. No, we're losing. We've been losing.
Just throw everything at the wall and see what sticks.
Hey, let's see if something sticks.
There's some really good questions too. I'm just glancing through the questions. I wanted to see if I could shout somebody out for this. Mandzukic. Mario Mandzukic is a free agent.
I would take him.
He terminated his contract. I've been very adamant. I've said this even before. I said it when he was leaving Juventus. I think he could be the perfect signing for a couple of Serie A teams, but specifically in my head, it's Fiorentina. I think Fiorentina is the perfect place for Mario Mandzukic for a couple of reasons. Number one, we know they need a goal scorer, which he will guarantee you goals. Him and Ribery up top would be beautiful to watch. I know a lot of people will say, get younger players, but Mandzukic is a killer. And I think one important aspect, too, is the mentality of Fiorentina. To really understand the shirts, you need more leaders on the field. And Mandzukic is one that will die for the shirt that he wears. Whatever shirt he's wearing, he will give his blood, sweat, and tears. Even if that means making a tackle as a left back and charging the guy down, if it means playing on the left wing when you've never played on the left wing, if it means playing as a striker. And I think having a guy like that in your team is always going to be an added value. And I don't think it's the only signing Fiorentina can make. But on a free transfer, I think Mandzukic still has something to give. And I think he's a perfect signing for Fiorentina.
I will think Napoli, too, because Napoli is going to get rid of Milik. I think that guy's the perfect
player. But I want him at Fiorentina.
I want him at Fiorentina. That's a good shout. I also want to throw at Milan. I think he'll do good because Zlatan's probably not going to stay. I think he'll be a great target man over there. Him and Rebic, maybe they do a nice
kind of similar.
Maybe a little similar, but I think he'll be good over there. He can score goals.
I just like the balance of having him. I like the balance of him. I said Mandzukic for Milan back then when Juve were getting rid of him, but now I personally just see Fiorentina as being the perfect step for him.
I think I would put him in on Inter. That will be do much better than Lautaro or this guy here. Mandzukic is a killer.
One other thing,
I know, I love
off the bench. We need a second.
I don't think he's gonna
replace him.
I don't want to see him on the bench.
He wants to be a starter. I think. I don't think he's gonna want to be a second striker.
Would you take him, Pete? You see,
since we're talking about Fiorentina, there's 2 other big storylines for them. One today being Ribery was robbed. His house was robbed when they came back from their match against Parma. He was very, very, very upset. I could pull up the full statement right now.
I hope his wife was not home.
No, the kids were in Munich.
It was empty. Right?
But he was pretty annoyed. He was pretty annoyed with what happened, and obviously, of course, he was scared for his family. And the most important line, I guess, of the entire thing was that he said, "My family comes first, and we'll take the necessary decisions in what his future is." And there's some rumors already that Ribery would be leaving Fiorentina, which obviously I think all of us would hate to see. I think that these incidents can happen anywhere. Florence is not known for something like that, to my knowledge. And we want to see Ribery stay. He's got another year left on his contract after the season. He's still in top form when he plays. So it would be a shame to see him, especially leave like this. Anybody have any feelings or thoughts?
That's a shame.
I agree with you. And I think him and Mandzukic, they could do some nice things. Massimo called me about it, and I mentioned that you liked Mandzukic, and he agreed with that. That would be a nice,
Beautiful signing.
yeah,
Free transfer.
because Ribery, he can give you the ball exactly how you want it, you know, and he just needs somebody inside the area that puts it in.
Yeah.
That's what Mandzukic is.
Right, and that's what Lewandowski was, Lewandowski. So I think that will work. That will work good.
Last thing about Fiorentina, which this week there was a boom from Di Marzio and from Sky Italia saying that De Rossi was set to become the next coach of Fiorentina for the following season. It was very sure. He was very sure about it. The reports came quick. They came loud, and we all thought that for sure it was a done deal, and we all had our opinion on it. Then later, Rocco Commisso, president of Fiorentina, came out saying, there's a lot of fake news going on, and all the talk surrounding the club and stuff. It's not true, and that he gives his last stamp of approval, and there was nothing to him saying that the deal is not done or there's nothing happening with him. Thoughts on De Rossi as potential coach to Fiorentina? If, again, we're just saying based on the rumors.
And I just want to add, he doesn't have his coaching license yet. He would have it completed for next season for him to
I
become.
would say it's a spectacular idea for me, even though he's never coached. Listen to me. I'll tell you the reasons why. De Rossi has been coached by nothing but the best coaches in Serie A.
Spalletti.
No, that's one of them. I wouldn't even mention that. But,
That's going to go in your dictionary, Spalletti, too.
Zeman, you name it.
Okay, it's fine.
Okay, so
Zeman's a
Zeman,
great coach.
wait.
Zeman is an excellent
When did
coach.
Zeman coach De Rossi?
He was in Rome.
Yeah, he was. He was at Roma.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
And he had the second
2009?
stint, but he did not.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't do anything.
Zeman all about that
Anyway,
defense.
he's got
Zeman better than Conte?
That was the best
much
coach.
better.
Okay.
Much better.
Okay.
Much
You're
better.
getting him started.
Okay.
So
What did
anyway-
Zeman win?
Anyway, like I was saying
It's
before,
not about winning. It's who
I
invented
wouldn't
the
mind
system.
I wouldn't mind seeing Pirlo or De Rossi. Those are even though they don't have any coaching, quote unquote, coaching experience. For me to go over there and listen to a class, somebody's talking over a PowerPoint or say, this is what you call an offside. This is what you do. This is the formations you're going to be
I
playing.
don't think that's what the coaching classes have.
That's what they are. That's what they are.
No.
Listen to me. You're going to go through
I
that.
think the story is not about his license as much as not having experience coaching a team. I don't think it's a license as much as
The
that.
guy has seen coaches, what they do. Once you went through so many.
Okay, Maradona. What about Maradona?
Maradona.
You could use that argument for any great player.
Well, listen, first of all, Maradona, if he wasn't healthy.
Ciro Ferrara.
Well,
These guys were coached by great. They played in teams that
Ciro
were
Ferrara
unbelievable.
is not De Rossi. Ciro Ferrara is not De Rossi. Don't compare the talent of Ferrara with
Don't
De
switch the
Rossi.
conversation. You said De Rossi's been coached by great players and he's been alongside great coaches.
Yes.
All I said was Maradona as being coached by great coaches and with other great players. Ciro Ferrara is another name.
Who are the great
Lippi.
coaches that they coach Maradona? Not that many. What are the great coaches? Maradona
I
is
mean, he won
great.
everything. You're saying De Rossi won
Maradona
everything.
was great. De Rossi is a spectacular player. He was a spectacular player. Pirlo is another one I was saying. Spectacular player. He went through. He had to listen to so many different coaches. He learned. Once you absorb that kind of stuff, I said, hey,
How about Simone Inzaghi?
I can do this
How
better.
about Simone Inzaghi?
He's a great player. Yeah, he was a good. He's a good player. He was a good player back when he was a player.
And he had great coaches.
Yeah.
So how come he didn't work out for Milan?
Simone Inzaghi.
Yeah.
Pippo
We're
Inzaghi,
talking about
Toro.
Pippo Inzaghi.
Sorry, Pippo Inzaghi.
Pippo,
Sorry.
yeah.
Okay, Pippo Inzaghi.
You got me messed up because you kept
Pippo
calling
Inzaghi was not given. Listen to me. Pippo Inzaghi had a squad that was not much of a squad. He had just a very limited nothing. He had nothing to work
But
with.
besides that, Pippo Inzaghi at least had the Primavera.
Yeah.
You can't just go to a Serie A club that wants to push for Europa League, let's say.
Oh, Gattuso.
So
Gattuso
then
is a
put-
perfect example.
Gattuso coached
coached
Primavera,
Palermo.
coached Palermo,
But that's
coached...
what I'm
Coaching
saying.
Greece.
That's not what you're saying.
What I'm saying is, on players like that, when you have a great players, you
We're
can
not-
take a chance.
But
But
we're
look
not
at
arguing
Pirlo.
on the player. We're
Pirlo's
arguing
gonna
on
be
lack of experience.
Pirlo's going to be coaching in Serie
Pirlo
C.
won't be
23.
coaching
Serie C.
anything.
He's going to be coaching Juve under 23.
Yeah.
Because you need at least
You
1
don't
year
need
to.
anything.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to
Listen, did Zidane need to coach?
He was assistant
somewhere
coach.
else?
Assistant
Yeah,
coach
he was
and the
assistant, he got
Primavera coach.
experience. What? Say something.
He was an assistant coach to Ancelotti
Okay.
for La Decima.
I just wanted to add over here. I love De Rossi. I think he's amazing.
But
One
it's
of my
not the
favorite
argument if you love De Rossi or
Okay,
not.
now let me say my point. I think he's an amazing player, but with all due respect, I think Fiorentina the past couple of seasons haven't been convincing, and they need someone with experience that could go over there, spend
Like
extra.
Iachini. He's got a lot of experience.
Okay, but
But Mike
he's
didn't
not good
say that he
enough.
likes Iachini.
I always said they should get someone caliber of Spalletti or someone like that could really help them. I don't think they should.
You're using every trigger word for him right now.
I don't think they should experiment anymore. The past 2 seasons haven't gone the way they wanted, and it's not looking good. And you can't bring in a coach that doesn't even have his coaching. He's not even a coach yet.
Well,
Like, you just gotta throw him in the mix
that's
and hope for the
not-
That's only a
best.
stupid piece of
The
paper.
license is not the point.
Yeah,
Okay,
the
I
license
know,
are-
but he hasn't done
No,
anything
De
to
Rossi,
merit that.
absolutely.
And I love De Rossi.
Absolutely not.
What?
To bring him to Fiorentina? No, you need somebody that has got a lot of experience, not somebody that has never coached a team. And absolutely not. Maybe in the future you can bring him in, but not right now.
Maybe as like the assistant coach to Spalletti.
Yeah.
Let him get his license. Assistant coach or
you can
Primavera.
you should be the assistant coach.
I wish I don't take Spalletti, Joe.
you know, to
Joe,
our-
please, if you listen to this podcast, don't take Spalletti.
He's
Just
Please take
Good.
Spalletti.
He's so good. I think Spalletti would be great.
I agree. And it has zero to do with loving De Rossi. You can
Yeah,
love him as a
yeah.
player. It has zero to the
So
point.
true.
In my opinion, I agree. You need an experienced coach. Fiorentina can't mess around. It's already been 2 poor seasons. We need somebody that's as secure as you could get.
Exactly.
And in my opinion, you need a guy that raises the caliber. And De Rossi, while he might do good, I'm not arguing that he won't do good.
Too much
I'm
of a
saying there's a risk,
Yeah.
a big risk involved where Fiorentina don't have time to play for a 3rd season in a row of not getting where they're
Good
supposed to
results.
get.
Yeah, because what happens is you get De Rossi, he has a bad couple of months. What do? You get rid of him already, and you have to restart. And then a lot of good coaches, they want
Right.
the time to
Preseason.
have preseason,
Yeah.
even though this year we don't
Yeah,
know
he's got a
exactly what
month.
you're going to have. But still, you start yourself, not have to try to fix
Yeah.
what happened.
What's the
Let's
rumor?
just go
What's
on.
rumor to go to Fiorentina's right now?
Perfect segue. Guys, the podcast is ending. We're doing the audio only. We're just going to take some questions like this. So head on over, link in the description to listen to Spotify, iTunes, or Apple Podcasts. We're going to be taking your questions from Twitter